That wasn't good. Let's try that again. Hold on. Good morning. That was that. Y'all, okay, so let me give you guys a quick little update on what's going on. So the upstairs landing was done. And this is the drawers. They have to be sanded. The guy's coming Friday. So I'm probably going to sand these tomorrow to get it ready. Y'all, when I tell you I've been over here building, I've been building. I really did a lot of the work, which I know that. So anyway, but yeah, last night, babe caulked all of the drawers because they look bad. And then I'm going to go around and sand it again. This was the first coat. He's coming back Friday for the second. The niche is finally completed. Our drywall guy is here now. Look at that. Look at that. It's got us finished sanding one last time. And then add the coat of paint. And then here is the second. I'm excited about it. Let me step back this way. This is the niche. It looks so good. I cannot wait for my friends to be able to see this, okay? Because some of them missed the house in Savannah, so they feel like they're going to get a redo. And then this is from last night. I got to clean that up, but just to kind of show you guys. And this is why babe was like, the kitchen isn't small. But realistically, the way the kitchen was originally set up, it was just this. So I'm like, the kitchen is small. If I hadn't knocked this area down, all of this would not have been the kitchen. But because I did, it all became the kitchen, which looks so good. And today, the countertop for this is coming. So I know it's going to be a very exciting day. Very exciting. So it's fun. Ooh, yeah, I done burnt my fingers. I done burnt my fingers. I didn't realize how hot this thing was. So the other day, I made shrimp, spinach to make dinner. I'm gonna take that same meal and I'm gonna make an omelet. So that way babe can have some breakfast. Fluffy eggs. Fluffy eggs. Let me just cut the stove off. I don't know if you guys have this blender, but it's really good. Here is the eggs. Here you go, lovey.
Thank you, Mom. Yeah.
Okay, just the breakfast. Thank you. Try it. Let the people know. Blow, it's hot. I just took it up. Oh my God.
It's perfect.
Within 2 minutes of giving babies food, the countertops came in, and you guys, this looks so beautiful. Let me just mention now, the camera isn't doing this piece of slab any justice, because once you kind of move close to it, it's actually not 100% gray. It has a little bit of a bluish kind of flex to it. Creamy ivory is definitely white. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all that. It's definitely giving white, but is so beautiful, and it complements the legs of the bar stools so well, and I absolutely love it. Even though it was a last minute change, I do love it. This is Rigo. I know you guys notice every single thing. He was the guy who actually did Babe's office renovation 2 years ago, and we've been using him ever since. And I even use him on projects with clients. He's just really good at what he does. Most of the people that are working within our home, I've been using them on other projects, and then I use them on my home projects, but we use them first and vet them out before we ever use them for clients. And so when they start working in our home, there is a level of comfort and family. I like to create that. That's just my personal thing, just because in any business that you have, I feel like you have to create loyalty and make people feel good and important. And they are very important and vital to my business because I cannot do a lot of these things. Okay. So this is Babe coming in. Mr. I don't want to come downstairs and see neutral, but yet you come downstairs and you smiling when you saw the neutral. So much so that go on, nod your head, sir. Yes, it looked good. Neutral isn't bad. So I want to come downstairs and see no neutral. Listen, come on, do your dance. Do your dance. Hey, yes. He's going to hate me for that. Let me tell y'all. The internet will have you believing that neutral is dead. Let me tell you something. For the people who are really in the thick of it, okay, into the thick of it, and you're in the middle of renovation or you're entering into renovation and you start going in and you start looking at slabs, you start looking at things, it is extremely expensive. There's two types of expenses. There's the I want to live in this and I don't care how much I spend because I'm going to live it and I'm going to get the cost per wear. And then there is the, am I going to make a return on my investment? And I'm really at the, am I going to get a return on my investment phase of life? And so sometimes the more detail oriented a piece of slab is, the more you actually have to pay. And so as much as we wanted to go in with the porcelain, with this and this and this, when the guy came out, he explained to us that with the porcelain, they would have to actually build a frame around the island, then put the porcelain, then 2 slabs had to be purchased for the porcelain, and then he could not ensure that the porcelain broke, that he could cover it because the porcelain itself is just a piece of material that is just easily to break. And so he said we shouldn't do it. And so we didn't do that. So I'm going to tell you now, if you're not on social media and you're doing renovation, I'm so happy for you. But if you are on social media and you're doing renovations, ignore the noise and do what's best for you financially. But this is the kitchen before all of the renovation started. I wanted to give you guys another look again because this kitchen has definitely come a very, very long way, and I am very happy with every single decision. So currently, as this kitchen sit, I just want to share that everything in here is very user friendly and I absolutely love it. The very first rule of interior design is figuring out the client's need. The second one is managing the wants. And number 3 is refining the client's expectation. With my kitchen renovation, I needed to take full account of how I operate within the space. And the key word here is I. And the reason why I'm saying this is for the size of the kitchen, I did go a little bit bigger than your standard selection. For a 30 or a 32 size stovetop, I opted for a 36. For the sink, could have went a little bit smaller. I opted for a 36 also. I did this because I had to consider all of my pots and pans that I have and how I cook. And normally towards the end of the year, I make really large pots of food because I have more family coming over. So right now I'm loading everything into the dishwasher. It's a standard size dishwasher. And then don't mind the soap, you guys. I'm just doing it quick. So I just put 1 drop of a cleaner and a cleanser to get the gross cleaned. But it really works well for me. So if you have to make adjustments in your design, please do so. I also made sure that I had ample amount of storage in the kitchen because again, I have a lot of things and I need everything that I have. Something else that I want to bring to your attention is, as I'm pulling my mail away, I have my drawer that is not only used for mail, but I also have a docking charging station. So in the drawer, I have all the outlets, but then I also have a plug on the wall that charges your phone and tablets also. This is something to also consider. Now that I'm going in to clean the stove and you have an overview of the kitchen, you see how the kitchen layout is currently set up. With this, I needed to take full account of if someone was washing the dishes and I still needed to be into my kitchen, what would that actually look like? And this is when the prep sink came into the conversation. And I'm saying this again to take in full inventory. If I'm washing the dishes and someone needed to wash their hands, this is why the prep sink was there. Or if I'm using the sink and someone needs to really cut vegetables very quickly, they had that option also. And so if you've never thought about doing a prep sink and you're in renovation and you are taking in what you need and what you want into your kitchen, then I would highly recommend taking into consideration doing the prep sink. This has come in so good. Babe's niece came over here, my cousin came over here, and recently my uncle came in here yesterday. My uncle is actually in renovation business also. He is a contractor, and my dad actually taught him everything that he knows. And so he's never seen any of my projects firsthand. So yesterday when he came over, he gave me the biggest hug because all he saw was the previous kitchen. He saw it in demo, and I told Babe, I was like, please go pick up my uncle. And so when he went to get my uncle said, girl, there's a saying, I don't know. Oh, in English, the translation is, you surpass your father, which was such a beautiful compliment because my father, pretty much, I look at him like he knows everything. And so he said, Petit, ou dépassé papa, oui? And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. You know, like that really meant a lot because he was with us throughout the whole entire renovation process. And he also helped. And he said, everything is so different and I absolutely love it. I didn't know where you were going with it, but to see the end result of the space, it just looks so good. And so not only the first thing is to consider the budget, but you have to consider the overall usage. I love my cooktop. I know some of you guys were against the Samsung. The reason why I went with it is one, cost, two, I didn't make a real big issue with it because it's gas. I know when you go with electric, sometimes you have some issues. But after reading some really amazing reviews, and one of my clients actually works for Samsung and everything in her house is Samsung, I felt very comfortable opting for Samsung appliances in the house. When it comes to the faucets, I ended up going with Collier. So I made some shortcuts with some of the things in the kitchen, but then I also made some splurges. And I have to say again, I am loving the space. And so one of the things that I have to take into account is I do create content and there's always going to be outside noise. And so I'm going to tell you, for you, that might be a family member, that might be yourself, and may even be your spouse. Stick to your guns of what it is that you want and what the end result is going to be. Originally, I wanted a slab for the backsplash, but when they came back with the cost, I was like, there's no way I can do this. And so I felt very defeated and I didn't do anything for about 3 days. And then finally I was like, girl, stand up. And so I went into floor decor. And when I went into floor decor, I decided to go with the 24 by 48, and honestly, done properly, and I do mean done properly, it actually gives a look of the slab. And when I say properly, try your best to match the veining of the tile when whoever it is, the installer, is putting it in. And so these are just a few tips that I wanted to share with you. This isn't actually the reveal. When I do the reveal, I will get into more details about the kitchen. But I was in such a peaceful place cleaning my kitchen just because the overall functionality, the beauty, the sleekness, the tones of everything looks great. I know on camera it looks very a la blanche, okay? White, but in true form, when you're in the kitchen, the colors are very, very prominent within this space. The color that I went with is more of brown hues, golds, and creams. And so that had a lot to do with cost also. The cabinet company that is on our vendor list, they have a lot more option. They have the browns, they have the blacks, they have oak, and they have some natural. They have a lot of options, but again, considering cost, this is what I ended up going with. You will hear me say this again because I will be sharing a full reveal of this entire space. But I'm loving my kitchen, and so be true to the things that you love and the things that you want. I hope you guys enjoyed today's content. I will see you guys next time. And thank you again for everything. The kitchen isn't done. I am waiting for Prime Day to order the microwave. And we had a small snafu with a double oven. So I'm waiting for that to be rectified. And once that is done, I can give you guys a tour. Oh, and the hood is currently being made. And so once that's done, I will then give you guys a full tour of the kitchen to share the outcome of my design. You guys, that is it for today. Have a really great day. Bye.